One day I was writing an exam for French. It was an essay, and after writing the main essay, we had to do a sort of abstract. I don't recall exactly what it was, but there was a section worth about 10%. And I didn't have that much time left, and there was point for grammars. So I asked the teacher, well, what if I make like 20 grammar mistakes, and if you made more than 20 grammar mistakes, you would get a zero for grammar, and grammar was worth about 20%. So I said, what if I make all the grammar mistakes here? Does that count for the overall grammar grade, or is that like within that 10%? She's like, no, it's for the full, like the whole of grammar. So I had to decide whether I would risk getting an extra 10% and screwing up a bunch, and maybe I could get like maybe it would be a net negative. Like maybe if I don't write that, I get a 90, and if I do write that part and I make a bunch of mistakes, I get like, I don't know, an 85 or whatever. And so at the end of the day, I ended up writing it. I stopped trying to translate from English to French, and I tried to just write it as it would be written in French, which is not something I was a big fan of because I like expressing myself in English more than I like expressing myself in French. But that was one instance of many where I came to the realization that a lot of times school can punish ambition inadvertently. So perfection means that it is without flaws. So an essay could be flawless, right? Like you could write 500 words and get your point across well, and not make a single mistake, and everything could be accurate, and maybe you touch on 3 different things, and that essay, say, gets 100%. But then you could write another essay, a much, much better essay, where you're touching maybe on one thing, but you're going in extreme depth and you're talking about everything there is to talk about on that one thing. Or maybe you're touching on 5 things. Or maybe it's like the same essay as the other one, but much better explained. Like if you gave that essay to group A and the other essay to group B, and then tested them, and you gave them both the same test, then the group with the more ambitious essay would perform significantly better than the other one. And so that essay would be much more conducive to learning than the other essay. It would be a much better essay. But there's 3 or 4 typos in it. So it's no longer perfect. You can't give it 100% because 100% means that it is perfect, that there's not a single flaw, theoretically. And that gets me thinking, a lot of the times, perfection isn't really perfect, not in the sense that most people use the word. Like if somebody says, "Oh, it's perfect. It's the best. It's the greatest possible thing. It's literally flawless, right?" But it being flawless does not make it the best. I think that most people use the word perfect where they should be using the word ideal. And ideal, as defined by Oxford, would mean most adequately adhering to someone's conception of perfection, or something like that. But then it says most suitable, and I think that's what most people think of when they think of like the perfect solution, right? How could I best solve this problem? Oh, well, this is perfect, uh, whatever it may be. Like maybe it's a partner, maybe this person is the perfect partner for you. Well, that doesn't mean. I feel like I lack the vocabulary to get my point across, and my point is precisely that there is a lack in the vocabulary, which is kind of ironic. But like you could be an extremely good fit with someone, and maybe it's not going to be like perfect. Maybe there's going to be discussions. Maybe there's going to be times where you stop talking to each other. But that relationship feels much deeper. The connection feels much deeper than with someone who, on paper, like if you watched a movie, maybe it looks better. Maybe it looks like there's not a single thing wrong with it. So all this to say, I think that perfection isn't all it's made out to be, and we should stop focusing so much on not making mistakes or getting everything polished and perfect, but rather trying to just get it out. Just do it. Just go for it. And a lot of times in school, I think I would have gotten a better grade if I hadn't been so ambitious. But I think that ambition is gonna be better in the long run.